at Colorado, 36-14, the final. And here the kids come. They are excited. This is a major release for Colorado football fans.
Hello. Welcome, everybody. Yours truly, Louie, representing, for Louie Luggage. All right, we're going to do this thing. I'm welcoming everybody into the house. Now, this is a new channel, Louie Luggage. This is our new channel. I want to welcome everybody because this is a great time. This is a great time to be on this channel. Now, for my TikTok people, I want y'all to go over to Louie Luggage, LOUISLUGGAGE, Louie Luggage. Find us there on TikTok. And for my people on YouTube, like, subscribe, and share. And thank you for joining us. I'm yours truly, Louie, representing for Louie Luggage. Welcome, and thank you. We talking some Coach Prime, Colorado Buffs, and Louie Luggage, and how the Louie Luggage handled Nebraska this weekend in game number 2. And pulled it out, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk about that. I'm excited. Now, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give a brief introduction of myself and give you an understanding about this channel. Now, for my people on my TikTok, I love you. I think we got about 10,000 followers on TikTok. I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for your support. Go find us over at Louie Luggage, LOUIS Luggage, and help us build that. Okay, help us build that. Now, how did Louie Luggage come about for Louie? Now, y'all know Coach Prime, he's at Colorado, or CU up in Colorado. Now, Colorado, I don't want to say Colorado University because they have all kind of issues about the way you say the name. And I'm just saying CU and the Buffs, the Buffaloes. So now Coach Prime is coaching there. All right, he has a coaching job, and you know it was the big thing. He came from Jackson State, and he was winning all kind of championships. Well, he didn't win the championships, but he was winning the games. He went 11-0 in the regular season, and then couldn't finish it out in the bowl games. But I'm telling you, he was winning. Now, when he goes to Colorado, he tells the players as he goes in to do his speech, he says, I'm coming, and I'm bringing my luggage, and it's Louie. All right, and that stuck. So Louie Luggage, that's where this comes from when Coach Prime said that he's bringing his luggage, and it's Louie, and we got Louie Luggage. Now, here's the thing. I knew what Coach Prime was going to do. I already know what Coach Prime is going to do. Why? Because he did it already. He's been saying he was going to do it. And for whatever reason, people are not paying attention. Now, I can't go out and gamble like the way normal people gamble. Because I can't be all out here, putting money down like that. Because that's outside of what my beliefs are set up for me. However, if you're doing it, I say great and wonderful. Bet on him because he's a winner and because he already been doing it, and it been telling you what he was going to do from the beginning. And it's like, y'all not paying attention. Well, if y'all not going to make this money, then I'm going to go ahead and make some money myself, but I have to gamble differently. Louie Luggage is how I gamble. I gamble in business. All right, if I'm going to gamble, I'm going to do it business-wise. Now, I gamble on myself all the time, and this is one of those gambles I take. So here you got Louie Luggage. Welcome. All right, yours truly, Louie. What do? I have a law university. For those of y'all who don't know, UNA University. Now, with my law university, we deal with law from everything from the spiritual side to the legal side and then some. All right. So with that being said, though, this is my opportunity to have fun. Also, I need y'all to know I used to have a television show, and we were syndicated in 4 states, and it was called The Sports Show from a Woman's Perspective. Take 2 Sports. That's what it used to be called. And so I was in sports for quite some time, and I know sports, and I played sports, and I was athletic for a long time. So I know sports. All right. That being said, I also know winners when I see them. I know winners when I see them. Coach Prime is a winner. And it's not just, again, yes, I followed him because I was in Atlanta when he came to Atlanta. I'm from Atlanta, born and raised. I'm a real Atlantan. You don't see too many of us. I'm a real Atlantan, born and raised. And so when he came to Atlanta, once he left college, he lit it up. He lit Atlanta up. So I followed him since then. Didn't know who he was when he was in college because I didn't watch college ball. All right. So, but when he came to Atlanta, you couldn't love this man. You couldn't not love this man is what I'm trying to say. You could not love this man because he was electrifying. We wanted him to put his hands on the ball. Like, give it to Deion Sanders. Please let him do it. Because he was just that awesome. And so I've been following him since then. So now, all right, we get to this point now where Coach Prime has gone to Colorado. Now, when he goes into Colorado, everybody's saying there's no way he's going to be able to rebuild this roster. If they win 2 games, that'll be great and all this. They just talking negative about the team. We don't see them winning 3 games in the whole season. And, just all of these negative things. Oh, he's bringing these HBCU players. They don't know how to play on the real level. This is the SEC level. All right, all of these negative things that they're saying. And saying that Coach Prime is not going to be able to pull this out. Well, this whole thing, as I was watching it, they're saying, oh, he can't win against TCU. And I'm saying he's going to win against TCU. And, this is the thing, and I'm going to get into the session. Because today we're going over this Nebraska versus Colorado game that took place on Saturday. But this is the thing that I've noticed that most people have their mindset. Y'all remember, did anybody watch, I think it was either Saturday Night Live or the other show, Mad TV, where they had this thing called Lowered Expectations. That's right. Well, people have lowered expectations about what they desire. They come in, they're like, well, you can expect it's going to take a couple of years and it takes time to build up. And Coach Prime does not have that type of expectations. He's like, no, we're going to win. We're going to win now. He's been saying it, but then he's already done it. He's been doing it. So Coach Prime comes into this thing and he says, we're going to win now. And everybody's like, well, it takes time to build up a program and all this. And they might go 6-6, and they're thinking, people are actually thinking that they're saying something good when they say this, and when you have a different mindset where you don't just it's accepting of what everybody else is accepting. When you have a different mindset, then that's a very difficult place to be. I can tell you that right now because I expect greatness. I get greatness. Because of the mindset. So when he comes out of his mouth and says that we're going to do this, this, and this, you've got doubters all around him. And he talks about how he has doubters still even in the locker room. That some of them are still not believing that they can do this. When you have that type of mindset of people around you, it becomes very difficult for you to really move up and do what you desire. So here's Coach Prime. He's taking over this team. He's got doubters, not only outside of what he's doing, but inside. And he's saying, we're going to do this, this, and this. And you got people second guessing him. Saying that surely Deion doesn't mean that when he says that they're going to win it all. No, he means it. He means it. He's saying what he means. And it's, you have to have a very high level of confidence in yourself in order to deal with all of these people outside of you who are naysayers and who don't believe, not only outside of you, but even in your own organization. So with that being said, he goes into TCU and they win. His team, Colorado, beats TCU in that first game that everybody expected them to lose simply because of the team that was there last year. How many times do we have to say this is not the same team? But they're starting to see now, because Colorado goes into Nebraska, or let me rephrase that. Nebraska comes into Colorado for Colorado's first home game. Now, so when we look at the people who are running the numbers, the gambling site, they still had Nebraska pegged to beat Colorado or to win this game. But then most people, your commentators, because they have some kind of computerized whatever they have doing. They have some kind of computerized system whereby they have Colorado as an underdog for Nebraska, or had them as an underdog for Nebraska in this game. All right, so Nebraska comes in to Colorado, but most of the analysts had Colorado pegged to win the game. All right, so this is a rivalry. Now, for me, I really never dealt with a rivalry in my college. We didn't have rivalries like this. But the only rivalry that I know of is with Atlanta and New Orleans. But I always thought it was a nice rivalry. I remember my mom, when she was going out to get ready to head over to New Orleans, and she got on her Atlanta gear, and they going to New Orleans, and whenever there was a New Orleans game in Atlanta, New Orleans would be here in Atlanta. And I thought it was just a nice thing. I didn't think rivalries was, we hate you. I never took it that way. But with Nebraska, they took it to another level. I've never seen a rivalry like this. Now they're like, nobody wear red. You couldn't wear red or red nothing anywhere. I was like, okay, y'all serious about this thing. And they are very serious. Come to find out, Nebraska has a tendency to do disrespectful things. They're disrespectful, and they're probably disrespectful to each other. But so basically, there was this whole talk about how Nebraska came in and they were having some kind of meeting or conference, and the team congregated on the Buffalo in the center of the field, and Shador went over and broke it up. So they felt disrespected by that, and disrespected by some things that were said by the head coaches. So this was a serious thing. I mean, I just thought rivalries were some, nice things. Well, we travel over here, we're going to come show up in numbers, and, and y'all travel to our place and y'all show up in numbers, and it was a nice little thing. But no, not here. This is, I always thought, like, for me, when my mom went, I was like, oh, we love New Orleans. That's like a second home. They like our cousins. Not here not with Nebraska and Colorado. They have a hatred, and it's something deep. So anyway, they go in Nebraska comes to Colorado, and they have this game, this rivalry. All right. Now I want to get into this game and what happened. They had so many celebrities at that game. I mean, Colorado, again, I've talked about this and how Coach Prime has brought all kind of recognition to that team. He's brought a lot of stardom. They had so many celebrities at that game. I was concerned that there would be a distraction. I was concerned there would be too much of a distraction there with respect to what was going on. And I was concerned that might cause some poor play. I don't know. I'm interested. If anybody has ever dealt with anything like this, or having distractions on the sideline or distractions from a game, I would like to hear from you, because I was just wondering how that would play into their preparation for the game. All right. And so, coming off of that TCU game, we were expecting, some really big things. Now, we know that Nebraska had a good defense, or they were touted, or their defense was touted as being a good defense. And so we were expecting this to be a lower scoring game. However, we did expect that the offense would be able to score for Colorado. Now, let us talk about the first half. The first half. Everybody stunk it up. Everybody stunk it up. They went into the locker room at halftime with 13-0. Was it 13-0 in the first half? And so Colorado was up. However, the play was not good at all. So let's get into what's going on. So I want to first of all get into Nebraska's defense, or Nebraska's team. All right, and go into what was going on with them offensively. Now, what I saw with them is that they had the ability to move the ball. They were running the ball. Now, the defense, and we're going to talk about the defense of Colorado, stepped up big time. They did. They really made some changes. So let's get back to that TCU game that they had. The defense had a very difficult time stopping the run. We could see that they made adjustments. All right. But let's talk about the offense real quick of Nebraska. They have a player, number 7. Just call him number 7. I don't need to call his name out. But this guy has a propensity to turn the ball over, which leads me to wonder why they didn't take him out of the game. So come to find out, the previous game against the team who they played, I think it was Michigan, this quarterback, number 7, had 3 turnovers. All right. Now, coming into this game, in the first half, he had 3 turnovers in the first half. Now, one of them was a miscue. One of them was an interception. One of them was a fumbled ball. He was having a hard time taking care of the ball. And I think later in the second half, he had another fumble where he tried to hand it off to his running back and missed the handoff. So he has a propensity for mishandling the ball. But they, for whatever reason, kept him in the game. Even though they're blaming him for losing the first game, why would you keep him in the game? Because I'm going to be honest with you, I'd blame him. I would blame him for losing this game. All right? Because they had the ability to move the ball. If he would have gotten out of the way, they might have scored. Now, with that being said, again, the defense for Colorado really stepped up. That was a beautiful thing to see. All right. But getting back on I got to get into this, because this offense, they had the opportunity to make plays. All right. And what happened was, it was the offense constantly turning the ball over. 4 times. They had 4 turnovers for Nebraska. You can't win a game. And I'm going to let you know right now, because I'm ready to get on their Nebraska defense. Their defense is good. I ain't going to say damn good, but they held Colorado to 13 points. And you know how high powered. They had 7 sacks on Colorado. So their defense was getting at it. Even though we know that the offensive line for Shedeur, they have the ability to stand, but they were getting at him, and he was shook. Shedeur was. Shedeur, he was shook. He was frustrated. You know, they were throwing things at him that he was having to learn how to get over. So one of the things, though, that I will say about the Nebraska team, again, they were shutting down the receivers. We couldn't even find our boy Travis Hunter. They had committed to shutting him down. They were doing a very good job, the defense of Nebraska was, of covering the receivers to the point where, first of all, not only did Shedeur not have time to throw because the defensive line was constantly moving in or encroaching on the offense, but the receivers were shutting down, or let me rephrase that, the secondary was shutting down the receivers of Colorado. So their defense did a great job on that. They did a great job on open field tackles. The defense did. All right. Again, they did a great job on pressuring the quarterback. Honestly, this defense was a very good defense, and they frustrated Colorado's offense. All right. So what happened here? You got this defense comes out. They're playing great in the first half, but they couldn't get the offense to do anything. Now, I got to say this now. It seems to me, if I were on defense, and y'all, again, if you played sports, you let me know what you know. But if I were on defense, I know it seems like their confidence was deflated after they were constantly stopping Colorado, and then the offense gets back on the field, and they turn the ball over and give Colorado good field position. They turn the ball over somewhere in the 30 at one time, on the 30-yard line or inside the 30, giving Colorado good field position to make a touchdown after they have made stops. Their defense made stops. If, we here with Louie Luggage, we make T-shirts and memorabilia to commemorate this wonderful, exciting, magical time that Deion Sanders is putting on. This display of what I call the universal laws that Deion Sanders is putting on. And one of the things about it is we do plays of the game. So one of our first T-shirts for week 1 is displaying, the 4 people who made over 100 yards that Shedeur Sanders threw to. All right, that's one of our commemorating shirts. However, for this game, the player of the game is, I would say, the quarterback on the other team. The player of the game is the quarterback for Nebraska. That's why they won. We need to put him on the shirt and say thank you for fumbling. Thank you for handling the ball. Thank you for the miscues. Thank you for not knowing how to run the offense, because he's the player of the game, because it's because of him that we won. The thing that I see when I feel a little way sad for that team, because it's like, why would you not take the quarterback out of the game? I'm just wondering about why he stayed in. I respect you giving him another chance, but you don't win 2 games at the beginning of you don't lose, rather, 2 games at the beginning of the season with 6. He had 4 turnovers. I think they said 3. He had 3 the week previous. This one he had 4. Doing the same thing. They made 1 touchdown. Well, excuse me. They made 2 touchdowns. The one was after they took all of the starters out for Colorado. Then they took all the starters out. Then they scored. But the score wasn't close. All right? So that's dealing with Nebraska. So the player of the game is the quarterback for Nebraska, number 7, because he really lost the game for them. They might want to take him out. Now, I want to get into Colorado and what they did. So, as I said, Shedeur was shooken. He was frustrated, and he had to get his mind together. But one of the things that I've seen about Colorado is that they have stamina. They have very good conditioning. When I look at even the first game with TCU, the second half is when, you start to see the other team wear down, whereas Colorado was still ready to go, still playing, still fresh looking. And that is what's going to be what carries them through this season, that their conditioning is showing that it is superior to other teams. And these, again, the defense, part of it was they were deflated. How do you keep playing for a team where the offense is making your job more difficult every time you turn around, because the defense was getting stops? The defense was giving the ball back to the offense. Now, again, to the point of Colorado, Shedeur took care of the ball. He didn't turn it over. He made some mistakes, but he didn't make mistakes to the point where he's turning it over and giving them points and good field position. That didn't happen. Now, they were stagnant on offense. They couldn't get the run game going. They could not get the passing game going. And so what was that stagnant? Part of me wondered, were they a little distracted? I don't know. I just wondered if they were a little distracted and needed to get into the game, get their heads into the game a little bit. But again, come back out the second half. In the second half, things started to change. Then they started to pick it up, and I think part of that had to do with the deflated confidence of the defense. And then the other part had to do with the conditioning of Colorado. They are just superior when it comes to conditioning. They can handle the long haul. They're not afraid to go that long haul. They're not breathing and huffing and puffing like the other team is. They ready to go. Congratulations, Colorado, on that. Wanted to go into Weaver, who was the top receiver for this week. Again, I say to you, they were shutting down Travis Hunter. They watched tape. They watched film. And they came up with schemes to make sure. Now, Travis Hunter had 70-something yards receiving. But they made a point to keep him out of the game. And then they didn't throw to his side. There was also an interception on number 7. So, but they didn't, he knew not to throw to Travis Hunter's side, but he threw to the other side and it still got picked off. Again, now, I want to say this. Have y'all ever heard of, because I remember one time I was watching this guy who was talking about the basketball guides. The basketball guides, where somebody did something and they were like, yeah, the basketball guide is not going to let them make that point because of what he did. Basketball guides. Now we're talking about the spiritual side of this thing. I'm thinking about the football guides, because there was a lot of things going on in this game where it's like, the spirits are working for Colorado. The spirits are working for Colorado. It's got to be that the spirits are working for Colorado for the miscues. The guy, he calls them to hike the ball, and as the guy, his running back is running across, the ball is hiked into the running back. That's some football guys. Then, here's another one. They go to kick a field goal. Nebraska goes to kick a field goal, and it hits the upright. That's football guy. Somebody was either working for Colorado or against Nebraska. Now, this has been happening for 2 games straight, where this guy has been, 3 turnovers, or 3 interceptions, or whatever, because he's turned the ball over at least 4 times in the game with Nebraska. It's the football guys working against them, either against them or for Colorado, but some gods in there, some spirits working against them. That being said, I would say the strength of Colorado right now, and I'm going to get into this because they had a lot of penalties, more penalties in this game than they've had in the first game. And here's the deal. Because one of the things that they wanted to do with this game, they wanted to come in and run the score up because they know that Nebraska has a good defense. So then they also knew they had a good running game. So if you run the score up in the first quarter, then they're going to be forced to throw the ball, which is to the advantage of Colorado. All right. But these guys, they had their running game going. They just couldn't keep the quarterback from messing it up. That was their problem. So with that being said, Colorado did have a lot of penalties. They had a lot of miscues. They were lacking discipline in this game. All right? They were having some unforced errors where it was unsportsmanlike conduct and offsides. Just things that, as Coach Prime says, is not indicative of his team, which is a well-disciplined team. So I'm going to talk about this because moving forward, I want to just get into what makes a good team or a great team versus a potentially great team. All right. What is a good team versus a potentially good team? Well, the thing is making the plays. And normally when you watch Colorado, especially in practices, a lot of us watch Well Off Media. Give a shout out to Well Off Media, Reach the People Media, the pregame show. When we watch them, we see they make plays. All right. So first of all, a great team or that championship team, that's the team that makes the plays. When the ball comes to them on defense or offense, if it's on defense, we're making an interception. If it's on offense, we're catching that ball. We're not letting it go through our hands. We're not having miscues. When it's time to make the plays, does the team step up? All right? The other thing is discipline. Do you know how to not make those emotional plays that cost your team important yardage? You got one of the offensive linemen that kept, I don't know if it was the same one or not, but he kept, whenever somebody tapped Shedeur the wrong way, he would just jump on him or push into him and cost the team. We got to not do that because y'all get ready to go against good teams. There are great teams that make the plays. And if you're not disciplined, if you don't show discipline, it'll be that little 5 or 10 yard play that cost you the game. That's not going to even happen. That's not going to happen because they're going to get the discipline in order. They're going to make the plays. All right? And so the other thing is sportsmanlike. What is that? Unsportsmanlike conduct. There was special teams. Special teams, when they're pinning somebody deep, they know how to, all of that has to be clicking as they get ready to go into these games with more difficult opponents that are in their conference. So that's the thing. Interceptions, they got to make the sacks, they got to make the tackles. Again, that's one of the great things about this defense that I can say that these guys were on point. Open field tackles, they were making them. And so that's what I see when it comes to Colorado, those plays. Do you make the plays? That's the difference. And so they have the discipline. They have the personnel to do that. They were a little off in this game, and they won it. That's great. But I'm saying when they move forward into these games where the competition is tougher, they got to be on point. All right. The last thing I want to say, and I want to get out of here, last couple of things. Congratulations to Shedeur. He's in the top 5 quarterbacks now, And supposedly Colorado is ranked at number 18 now after this win. So he's he's close to passing for the most yards now, but there's teams that have played 3 games to his 2 games that he's played. So, but he's definitely up there in the top 5 right now. And the great thing again, Shedeur, the offense started off a little stagnant, but Shedeur did not make any serious turnovers, and he still has no interceptions. So congratulations to him on that. His quarterback rating has really gone up. Also, I want to say congratulations to the defense, because one of the great things when we're talking about championship teams is that they're able to adjust. Can your team adjust? And that's what they did. They adjusted their defense such that they can, take on this Nebraska team that was going to run the ball, because they know they can't throw. But if we can hold them on defense, then we're going to force them to have to throw. And when they have to throw, they're going to make mistakes, and we're going to capitalize off of them. So good. Colorado did that. Congratulations to them for being able to transition. That is the name of sports. Who is able to adjust the fastest? When you have an offense, your offense goes into your team rather goes into halftime, and y'all having issues, can you adjust? And even though Nebraska they did some adjusting, but one of the things that when we get to this point, if you are not conditioned, if you weren't doing your conditioning in the summer and the spring, like what Coach Prime was doing, you can adjust all you want to. You're not going to be able to hang with this team. That's their upside. Their conditioning, their discipline, and the fact that they make plays. They're a championship team. So we're going to see this Louie Luggage take it all the way. Coach Prime said, we're going to win it all. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. All right, I'm yours truly, Diva Laree. I'm ready to get out of here. I want y'all to go over to Louie Luggage. All my people on TikTok, go over to Louie Luggage. My people on YouTube, you are at Louie Luggage, all right? Because we can't go live yet on TikTok, but we will be able to go live soon as we build that channel up. But I want to say thank you all for listening. Thank you for watching. Go Colorados, go Buffs. I'm yours truly, Diva Laree. Get ready to get out of here. We're going to see y'all next time. I'm going to come back later on in the week, by the way. And we're going to go into the next game with Colorado State. All right, we're going to talk about Colorado State and what needs to be done so they can win and prepare for the future games. Diva Laree, I'm out.